At this point, we've seen how to render data from a Django database in a front-end HTML template, but users of our to-do list app still don't have a way to actually interact with that data, such as the ability to create their own to-do items or mark them as complete. In this video, we're going to cover the first part of a concept known as CRUD, which stands for Create, Read, Update, and Delete, by giving users the ability to create their own to-do items. Generally with CRUD, you'll want different templates for different operations. Our homepage at the moment represents the read operation in CRUD. To give users the ability to create an item, I'm going to simply duplicate the todolist.html template, rename it to add_item.html. Then we'll open this new template, update the header to add a to-do item, and remove the table. I also need to add a link on the home page to access the new template, so I'm going to add that here right after the table with an href equals, and we're going to link this to add, and we'll just call it add an item. And just to be sure that we're starting at the root, let's add a slash right in front of add. Next, we need a view to display this template, so let's go up to views.py, and to keep it simple, we'll just copy the get-to-do-list view and make some changes to it. I'm going to rename it to add_item, remove the items and context since we don't need them anymore, change the template to our new add_item.html template, and remove the context since this view has no context at the moment. Lastly, we need a new URL to access this template because right now if we click the link to add an item, we'll get a page not found error. So I'm going to go to urls.py and copy the URL for the home page, change this URL to add, update the view to our new add item view, and we'll update the name to add as well. And finally, import the new add item view into this file to make it accessible to urls.py. If we run the server now with python 3 manage.py run server, and it looks like we forgot a comma at the end of this item here, so that should fix that. And looking good, so the server is running now. We can go to open ports, open the browser, and click the link to add an item, and we can see our new view is working perfectly. Now we just need a way to actually add an item from this template. So let's go back to the add an item.html template and create a form element. This form is going to be the mechanism by which a user can enter the name for a to-do item and whether or not it's done. And to do that, we're just going to need two inputs and a submit button. I'm going to wrap them in paragraph elements inside a couple of divs for now, just so they look a little cleaner. So the first thing that we need is 3 divs. The first 2 divs are going to have a paragraph element inside of them. So we'll add those here. And a paragraph there. And the last div is going to be our submit button. So we'll tab that in and add a button element for the last div. And the first input is going to go inside this first paragraph. So I'll create that here. And it's going to be an input of type text because this is where the name of the to-do item will go. And I'm going to give this input 2 attributes. One is ID, which will have a value of ID_name, and the other is the name attribute, which will have a value of item_name. As a quick review, the name attribute of this input is the name we'll use to access the input's value in our view function, and the ID attribute is the way that we can identify it on the page to apply its label, CSS, and so on. And speaking of the label, let's apply a label to this input element right now by creating a label for equals ID_name and giving it a value of name. Now to create the done status input, I just need to copy this and make a couple of quick changes to it. I'm going to change the labels for attribute to ID underscore done, and obviously give it a label of done instead of name. This is going to be a checkbox, and it will have the ID of ID underscore done and a name of done. Lastly, we just need to give our button here a type of submit so that it'll submit our form, and let's give it a label of add item. Also, just so this button has the same margins around it as the inputs above it, I'm going to wrap a paragraph element around the button as well. The form is mostly done at this point. The only thing it needs is a method of post and an action of add. This is going to be our add URL that we're going to submit the form to.